Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked Don Fry to defeat Hidehiko Yoshida. And I'm here to talk about Cory Sandhagen versus Rob Font. Main event, Rob Font was going to fight in a week or two on the Boston card, and now here he is fighting Cory Sandhagen in a 5-round main event. I'm assuming he's in shape, and Rob Font's always had the heart and the cardio, so I'm assuming he's going to be in shape, especially since he's been training. All things considered, not a bad replacement at all. And let's get into it. Rob Font is 36 years old, 20-6 as a pro, and he's giving up 3 inches of height, but he has 1.5 inches of reach over 31-year-old Cory Sandhagen, who is 16-4. Rob Font, 6 losses, 5 of them via decision, 1 via guillotine choke to Pedro Munoz, who is very dangerous, can club and sub just about anybody, and he got Rob Font out of there with the guillotine. And that's his move, by the way, Pedro Munoz. He's got one of the best guillotines in the whole sport. So that's the only time he's been finished, but the 5 decision losses are all to excellent fighters and very, very dangerous fighters. Jose Aldo. I haven't called him Jose Aldo since 2010. You know, his name was Jose, and then one day it just became Jose, and whatever. We all learned to respect Portuguese. But he lost to Jose Aldo, Chito Vera, Rafael Assunção, John Lineker, and before he got to the UFC, Desmond Green. Those are all excellent fighters, some very, very dangerous fighters, obviously, and none of them put Rob Font away, even though he's been hurt on multiple occasions against many of those guys. Chito Vera had him dead to rights in like every fucking round, and Jose Aldo hurt him badly too. So Rob Font is a very durable guy, even though he's starting to look a little less durable. You know, a guy gets knocked down a bunch of times and hurt, you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But here, he's very healthy as far as his chin goes, and the submission defense is up to par as well. Again, the only loss comes to Pedro Munoz. His wins come 9 via knockout, 4 via submission, 7 via decision. He's got some really, really good power and really, really good striking, specifically his boxing. His boxing is amazing. Of course, he trains with Calvin Kattar. Those guys are both excellent boxers. Rob Font's got one of the best jabs, a jab from hell. And yeah, he's just a really good jouster, and he's got really good power in his right hand as well. Ask Adrian Yanez. That was one of my favorite victories of the last year. Rob Font knocking Adrian Yanez out. I picked Yanez to win. I was waiting for Yanez to turn up the steam and get him out of there, or pull ahead and win a decision. I'm pretty sure I picked him to win by decision. But nevertheless, Rob Font didn't let it happen. Rob Font came out of the gate on fire, was jabbing him up and looking to engage in a brawl. And even though Rob Font got busted up himself, he was there for a dogfight, and he didn't stop throwing until he hurt Adrian Yanez. And then once he hurt him, he didn't let up. And he ended up cracking him with a big uppercut right hand, or a wild hook. It was such a weird punch from such a weird angle. He was like holding his head too with a collar tie and just sent him flying, and then put him away. Just one of my favorite victories, and it was a great way for Rob Font to rebound after some tough losses as of late. Of course, those losses come to Jose Aldo and Chito Vera, so no shame there. But he's up against it here against Cory Sandhagen. Cory Sandhagen is, he's a contender, fucking title challenger, and I still feel like I'm talking about him like he's the future. Now, but Cory Sandhagen, I think he's got everybody's respect by now. He's in his prime, 31 years old. He's a very versatile fighter, but specifically on the feet, there's not too many fighters at all that come close to looking like him. He's got great movement, range control, diversity of strikes. I don't know the fighters that he's like a combination of this guy and this guy, but one of them is like Dominic Cruz. This guy he moves so well. He's such a sophisticated striker, and he may not be the most powerful guy. Again, he's a long, tall guy, kind of like I was talking about with Sean Woodson. I don't know if he's going to win the overhand right battle, Cory Sandhagen, but he's really sharp with his striking, where he can hurt you. He can definitely hurt Rob Font. And, of course, he's got some beautiful finishes. He's got 7 TKOs in his 16 wins. One of them, he knocked Frankie Edgar dead. Marlon Moraes, of course, he got him with the spinning back kick, hook kick, whatever the fuck. Song Yadong, that wasn't a legit knockout or whatever, but he beat the shit out of him, got him out of there between rounds 4 and 5. It was a doctor stoppage. And also pounded out Yuri Alcantara earlier, I think his first fight in the UFC, and submitted Mario Batista in his second fight in the UFC. So Cory Sandhagen, he's got some really good finishing prowess, but he's also shown when he's had to fight these guys who are just durable, fucking gritty veterans like John Lineker and Rafael Assunção, that he can go to town and go to town. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but he can fight hard for a decision. Of course, those were 3-rounders, but still, he got decision victories over solid veterans, and that helped level him up to a title challenger. And now he's a bona fide 5-rounder. He's lost a few times in 5-round fights, but he's definitely a guy who's going to thrive down the stretch. He's got great cardio, and just he's a very difficult puzzle, and if you can't figure him out, he's probably going to pull ahead down the stretch. His 4 losses, he's got 1 via submission, 3 via decision. The decisions come to Petr Yan, TJ Dillashaw, and Jamal Emmers. Jamal Emmers beat him by decision very early in his career. TJ Dillashaw beat him in a very close fight. I think that was a split decision, but it was very close, and TJ did a lot of, crowding him against the cage and trying to out-wrestle him, but it was still a very close decision. And Petr Yan took over. He lost round 1 and then took over. Petr Yan doing what he does and making those reads. Jose Aldo submitted him in round 1. That's the only guy to get him out of there, and that's Jose Aldo. Aljo Sterling. I don't know why I said Aldo. Well, I do, because I wrote down Aljo. Aljamain Sterling submitted him in round 1 with a rear naked choke. Aljamain Sterling, everybody knows he's the best in the world, but that's probably his best performance ever. That was just perfect, and I think Cory Sandhagen would still be up against it big time if he fought Aljo, but I don't think it would ever look that easy. So I know Cory's ashamed of that loss, and I expect better from him in just about every fight moving forward, certainly in this one. Rob Font is a guy that's a boxer primarily, and Cory Sandhagen is a guy that's got the skills that take away the boxing. I think Cory Sandhagen is going to win this fight. I expect it to be a decision. I expect Cory to mix it up with some wrestling throughout, but I don't think it's going to produce a finish. And on the feet, Rob Font has that great jousting jab, but it's not going to be of much use, I think, with Cory Sandhagen, who doesn't stop moving, doesn't stop throwing from every different angle, and he's going to be winning the range battle, and he's going to figure Rob Font out, and I think make it look easier and easier as the fight goes along. So Cory Sandhagen is the pick. I'd wait for the prop bets. I would think he would win by decision, but if something jumps out to me, I'll play it. As of now, I'm staying away from this. Cory Sandhagen's money line is minus 350. He should definitely win, but I'm not betting on that. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.